How to stay layoff-proof in 2025. Expert insights. 2025 is shaping up to be the year of reckoning for job security. The whispers of layoffs have grown into a deafening roar, with industry leaders like Mark Zuckerberg sounding alarms about the fragility of certain roles. While AI and automation have dominated headlines as the culprits, experts argue that the real story lies deeper, beyond technology, into the mismatch between skills and evolving demands. But here's where it gets controversial. Is it the machines taking jobs, or are we failing to evolve alongside them? Let's unpack the truth behind the panic, and why adaptability, not just skill, might be your lifeline in this new era. The jobs under siege? Think repetition as the red flag. If your work involves ticking boxes, entering data, or analyzing preset reports, you're already on the radar of AI's efficiency. Even coding, once seen as a human stronghold, is feeling the pressure. Google now reports that 25% of their coding is handled by AI, a number expected to rise. Sumit Jain of Yakut warns bluntly, repetition will be punished, adaptability will be rewarded. But this isn't about overnight obsolescence. It's about tasks being quietly absorbed by machines, leaving roles to either vanish or demand new expertise from those who hold them. The myth of the safe career path. The old adage of pick a job and stick with it is crumbling. The idea that a single degree or domain could carry you through a lifetime of work is no longer viable. Saju Jain, a Harvard-trained entrepreneur, cuts to the chase. Whatever you do that AI can't, that's where your value lies. This means soft skills, like emotional intelligence, nuanced judgment, and high-stakes communication, are no longer just nice-to-haves. They're survival tools. Machines can't replicate the human ability to navigate ambiguity, build trust, or manage conflict in a fast-paced environment. What to do when the storm hits? Preparation isn't a last-minute sprint. Psychologists emphasize cognitive reframing, seeing change as an opportunity, not a threat. Reskilling is no longer optional. It's the new baseline. Raghav Gupta of Futurance outlines a three-step strategy. 1. Invest in high-value skills, either AI enhancing your current role or climbing the value chain. 2. Node relationships that open doors beyond job boards. And 3. Cultivate a personal brand that positions you as an irreplaceable asset. When companies hire you, they're not just buying a role, they're investing in the value you represent, he explains. The rise of the context king. In a world of flatter hierarchies and leaner teams, understanding the inner workings of your organization is a superpower. Rajiv Jayaraman of Canalscape stresses that those who grasp systems, customers, and internal processes become harder to replace. Context compounds, titles don't, he says. This means cross-functional rotations, mentorship, and modular learning aren't just career moves. They're shields against redundancy. Are soft skills enough? Experts are split. While communication and adaptability are non-negotiable, digital literacy is emerging as a bridge. Dr. Nishant Bhardwaj from Christ University notes that schools and colleges are now prioritizing AI education to prepare students for this shift. But here's the catch. Soft skills alone won't save you if you're not also fluent in the tools reshaping industries. It's a learn-or-fail environment, Saju Jain says. The future belongs to those who can balance human nuance with technical fluency. So where does this leave you? Panic is optional. The path forward is clear. Stay agile, invest in skills that machines can't replicate, and build a career that's not just about surviving layoffs, but thriving in a world where change is the only constant. And here's the final thought. Are soft skills enough, or is something more required? We'd love to hear your take. Share your views in the comments below. Ends, published by Rishabh Chauhan, published on August 4, 2025. Silent Aftershocks, the mental health impact of IT layoffs on young professionals. Imagine being suddenly stripped of your professional identity, left to navigate a treacherous job market, and forced to confront the darkest corners of your own mental health. This is the harsh reality faced by thousands of young professionals in the tech industry who've been hit by waves of mass layoffs in recent years. The IT sector, once a beacon of stability and opportunity, has become a breeding ground for anxiety, depression, and self-doubt. But here's where it gets even more alarming. The mental health toll of these layoffs is not just a personal issue, but a societal problem that demands our attention and action. The recent announcement by Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, to lay off 2% of its global workforce, affecting over 12,000 employees, is just the tip of the iceberg. Other IT companies have made similar moves, leaving a trail of devastated lives and shattered dreams in their wake. While these layoffs affect workers across age groups, young employees are particularly vulnerable to the unique mental health challenges that come with losing a job early in their careers. The loss of the job is not just a financial setback, but a blow to their identity, confidence, and future aspirations. The instability caused by a layoff can lead to increased levels of anxiety, depression, and self-doubt as they navigate a highly competitive job market. Understanding the psychological toll of these layoffs is crucial to building more resilient support systems, both within the industry and in society at large. But what's often overlooked is the fact that the impact of these layoffs extends far beyond the individual. Director of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, Pratima Murthy, notes that the IT industry boom has led to migration from smaller towns and rural areas to urban centers, resulting in a ripple effect on families and communities. When jobs are scarce or people lose jobs, the loss of income does not just impact the individual, but also their families, who are often dependent on that income. This can have a snowballing effect on their financial stability, making it difficult to pay loan EMIs and affecting their planned investments. Losing one's job, especially suddenly, can be very distressing, and the emotional consequences can be severe. There's a sense of loss of face, loss of confidence, and a sense of being let down, as well as letting down the family. This can lead to feelings of shame, difficulty in facing the family, and concealing the reality of the situation, which can aggravate stress and trigger a grief response, anxiety, or depression. But here's the part that's often missed. Excessive substance abuse is a well-known response to stress, further aggravating the situation. In an ideal world, protection as jobs would insulate professionals from such consequences. However, some ways of mitigation include providing support to employees, facilitating open communication with families, counseling for alternative job placements, and problem resolution. These are essential, especially for emotionally vulnerable persons, to help them develop the resilience to begin anew. Paulomi M. Sudhir, professor and consultant at the Behavioral Medicine Unit, Department of Clinical Psychology at NIMHANS, points out that mass layoffs can contribute to feelings of uncertainty, demoralization, a sense of unfairness, and anger at the loss. In some cases, it may result in experiences of anxiety, sadness, hopelessness, and helplessness, especially when employees are unprepared for the layoff and have commitments to fulfill or are solely supporting families. The existing pressure on IT employees is already high, with work durations ranging from 10 to 11 hours. And sometimes up to 12 hours in startups. With announcements of layoffs, employees report anxiety levels hitting a peak. There's already stress due to work pressure, which forces employees to work long hours on weekdays and even on weekends. On top of that, the layoff announcements have caused severe anxiety, affecting daily lives. But what's even more concerning is the stigma surrounding mental health, which continues to be a major barrier to help-seeking behavior, especially among laid-off IT employees. This stigma further contributes to low morale, motivation, and guilt. Although the sudden loss of employment can trigger anxiety, depression, and feelings of inadequacy, many hesitate to seek professional support due to fears of being perceived as weak or unemployable in future roles. Cultural expectations of resilience, particularly in tech environments that value productivity and self-reliance, further discourage open conversations about mental well-being. As a result, stigma not only delays recovery but also perpetuates isolation, preventing individuals from accessing critical mental health resources during a vulnerable period. So, what can be done to address this issue? Companies must play a crucial role in supporting their employees during layoffs. Seeking social support, continuing self-care, and using adaptive coping strategies are essential. Corporate mental health programs can be helpful, but only if the organization involves employees in preparing them for layoffs, offering mental health support, and staying connected. However, the response from companies has been less than optimal, with employees feeling that companies are barely taking any steps to address their mental health concerns. Without systemic changes, improvements will not be seen anytime soon. As we move forward, it's essential to ask, what can we do to break the stigma surrounding mental health in the tech industry? How can we create a more supportive environment for employees to open up about their struggles? And what role can companies play in prioritizing the mental health and well-being of their employees? The conversation starts now, and we want to hear from you. Do you think companies are doing enough to support the mental health of their employees? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below.